Paris. City of love, romance and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too. But ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away.
You have to? That's a creepy one.
Here I was, the palace of the media king and the ice queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
Ah, the talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father? He never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat.
My God, what? Monsieur Carchon!
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, welcome. This is Broken Sword, Shadows of the Templar, the Director's Cut. The Director's Cut is a little bit different. It has some additional parts, and also it's enhanced the graphics a bit. It also has these little speech windows where you can see the portraits of the characters that are speaking, which wasn't in the original version. And, well, I do own the original version, too, of course. I bought it very, very long ago. And I've played this one, but it was a long time ago. Let's see if I can remember most of it. So this will be my first playthrough of Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. I hope you enjoy it. So, let's see. Move the mouse pointer around. Well, this is the tutorial. You can check with it. Press left to perform actions, briefcase items, diary to access diary, question mark for puzzle hints. Well, I think I'll need that. Spanner for save and restore. Alright. There we go. Well, here we go. This is the spanner, so we can, the menu. Here's the diary. Palais Royal, Pierre Carjon interview. Well, this is what we already heard, and the stupid mime. No, Madame. There's the mime. And I agree, mimes are creepy, and I believe they are not up to any good no matter what. It's page 102, let's see. We came to Helda distraught, blah 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 blah. Alright. And hints. Well, I don't think we need any hints right now. At least not to begin with. Well, let's see. I'll just ignore the body. Let's have a look around instead.
A bust of Pierre Carchon, humble servant of La France. The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions.
First editions of what? That's what I'm more curious about. What first editions?
Pierre Carchon again. His eyes seemed to follow me around the room.
Well, that's a bit narcissistic. 2 busts of yourself in your own workroom.
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job.
Oh, alright.
The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
Space Quest reference? Well, let's have a look at him.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him.
Oh, that's what you called him, yeah. Oh, a bobby pin?
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down.
You can have a favorite pin? Oh, okay.
I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. I opened his eyes. Best to leave the crime scene as I found it.
Exactly. Even though, yeah.
Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend.
Ooh, what's that?
In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now. Carchon had been shot.
Okay, well, did you say that we shouldn't be tampering with the scene of the crime? Come on, let's... never mind then. Let's see now. We have... Use inventory... Okay. Drag and drop. Okay.
It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. When I was a little girl, Papa used to take me on the Bateau Mouche as a treat.
Okay. Well.
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact.
Never mind then. Oh, she did close it. Okay. Well, I guess we should go to a different room, have a look
The
around.
police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
Yes, yes. Oh, well, let's have a look then.
The door was locked. A fine Baroque door. It would look great in my apartment.
I wouldn't mind too, but wouldn't fit in.
A Louis XIV table with an antique cloth. Imelda had taste. But hey, with a husband that rich, taste is easy.
Well, I guess so.
A beautiful cloth had been draped over the table. It was embroidered with an unusual cross. I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
Yo, what's this?
There was a tiny hole in the tabletop. Part of the inlay had been chipped away.
Oh.
Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole.
Well, would your pin do?
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. A key had been hidden in a secret compartment. A modern key. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
That's right, that's right. I thought mostly you were a rude bastard in such case, but no, you're right, Imelda was kind of rude. Let's continue looking around then.
Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that. It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine.
Right, well, I guess we need some ultramarine
Just
then.
the colour I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Okay.
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favourite colour.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Well, she's very distraught, isn't she? Well, let's have a look then.
Imelda looked shocked, but still every bit as hostile.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
I
am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not
Ooh.
true.
We shall see.
Oh, that was rude.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Collard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Well, I can see why she's bitter.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Oh, fuck you. Do I have moral sense? Yeah.
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if my editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Yes, thank you very much. And with that, I need to stop this recording. I'll get back with you with the next episode really, really soon. See ya!